Have you ever just stared at a line of dialogue, totally second-guessing every single comma and quotation mark? You're not alone. Those tiny little marks, they can make or break a scene. So in the next few minutes, we're going to clear up all that confusion. This is a quick masterclass to turn that uncertainty into pure confidence.
All right, let's start with the big one. You know what I'm talking about, the classic debate, single quotes or double quotes. Which one makes you look like a pro? We are going to settle this once and for all right now.
And the answer? Well, it all comes down to our very first section. This is what I call the golden rule. It's actually way simpler than you might think, but trust me, it is absolutely non-negotiable. So, what's the big secret? Get this. There is no secret. Both are correct. Yeah, really. It mostly just comes down to style. You know, American English usually goes for double quotes, while British English often uses single ones. The real rule, the one that truly matters, isn't about which one you choose. It's about sticking with it. So look, whether your dialogue uses double quotes or single quotes, you're not wrong either way. The most important thing here is that idea of consistency. That's what separates amateur writing from professional writing, every time. Just pick a style and own it from start to finish.
Okay, so we've got consistency locked down. But what happens when your dialogue starts getting, well, long? Let's dive into how to handle those big, powerful speeches that can be a total nightmare to punctuate correctly. I mean, it happens all the time in writing, right? Your character's on a roll, they're giving this passionate monologue or a super detailed explanation, and it just keeps going, spanning several paragraphs. How in the world do you punctuate that without confusing your reader?
Here is the trick, and it's actually pretty elegant. You put an opening quotation mark at the start of the first paragraph, and then again at the start of every new paragraph that continues the speech. But, and this is the most important part, you only put the closing quotation mark at the very, very end of the entire speech. It's a clever little signal to your reader that, hey, the same person is still talking. No confusion. Now, what if it's just one super long paragraph? No breaks, just a solid wall of text from one character. Well, guess what? The rule for that is even easier. For a single, unbroken chunk of speech, the logic is really straightforward. Since there are no paragraph breaks to worry about, you don't need all those extra opening quotes. All you need is one opening quote at the beginning and one closing quote at the end. That's it. It just wraps the whole thing up in one neat package. Okay, ready to level up? It's time to solve what I like to call the punctuation puzzle. This is what you do when your character starts quoting someone else. This happens constantly. A character is telling a story or repeating something they heard. The rule here is all about creating layers, and you do that by alternating your speech marks. It's the only way to keep it clear who's talking and who's being quoted. Let's see how that actually works. Okay, let's break this down. Let's say your main style is double quotes. So you write, Tom said, and then Tom quotes what he heard someone shout. For that inside quote, you just switched to single quotes. So it looks like this. Tom said, I heard her shout, help me, very loudly. See how that works? It's nested. Double, then single. That little switch makes everything perfectly clear for your reader. Whew, we've covered some pretty tricky rules. So how do you make sure you remember all of this when you're actually writing or editing? Simple. You use a quick and powerful checklist. Here it is, your 3-step safety net. Before you call any piece of writing done, just run through this. First, who is speaking? Is it totally clear? Second, punctuation inside. Just double check that your commas and periods are in the right spot, inside those quotes. And finally, number 3, consistency. Did you stick to your style, single or double, all the way through? If you can say yes to all 3, you're golden. All right, theory is one thing, but practice? That's where the real learning happens. We've gone through all the rules, so now it's time for you to put that knowledge into action. It's time to officially become a dialogue master. Okay, this is your moment. I mean it. Go ahead and pause this explainer and just try it for yourself. Write a short little conversation, maybe 3 or 4 lines long. Honestly, the best way to make these rules stick is to use them right away. So go on, give it a shot. And just like that, you've done it. You've basically mastered the core mechanics of advanced dialogue punctuation. Things like consistency, long speeches, and nested quotes. They're not puzzles anymore. They're just tools in your writer's toolkit. Fantastic. You are now dialogue masters.